And the final point that we believe is important is to complete the software preparation, which basically involves completely documenting the code and providing a user manual. Because if they're getting to the point where they're looking to enter into potentially licensing or having someone acquire the company, if that's the road that they choose, then they're going to need to turn over the software to them. So they really need to get it to a point where it could be completely handed over. And we believe that if these recommendations are followed, that it will lead to a successful relationship with WirelessWhere and benefit for all parties involved.
We would like to thank Dr. Radhakrishnan and Dr. Antonio. It's been an absolute privilege to work with you both this semester. We'd like to thank our mentor, Tom Appel, for his invaluable knowledge and expertise that he's shared with us, and everyone at CCEW just for a great semester and an amazing opportunity. And we'll now open up the floor for questions if anyone has any.
The company that you mentioned, like
BioKey?
huh?
BioKey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are they?
They became public in 1995. So I think they were founded in 93 and became public in 95. And up until that year 2005, they pretty consistently lost. Usually
So they never made money.
And they pretty much lost $7 million a year every year.
Who did they try to sell?
What's that?
Who did they try to sell?
They were the ones who were actually doing the acquiring. That they were able to turn a profit by acquiring some other competitors in the space and adopting some new technology.
So their business plan was acquisition of companies and consolidation.
After 10 years of losing millions of dollars, I guess they decided to try something different.
In order to protect the value of a potential license arrangement, what sort of legal protections does the software system have?
As I eye the resident lawyer for OCD right back there, I know that it's really the university retains the intellectual property, and it's currently licensed to WirelessWhere. So there's legal protection in that, and actually will kind of depend on the licensing arrangement, particular licensing arrangement, whether it's exclusive versus non-exclusive. But essentially, the university is still going to retain the legal ownership of the intellectual property.
So the software patent?
What's that?
The software patent?
There is patent pending. There has been an application filed. Yes.
This sense of conflict and developing a strategy, if you make the decision, following that strategy between the founders and the university leaders?
When do you guys want to feel down?
That was one of our initial perspectives, was to make sure that we help to please all the parties and all of the stakeholders. So that's including the university and the founders. So we have tried to come up with the best compromise for both, and I think we've accomplished that.
Pardon me, I don't understand words like stakeholder. I'm interested in decision maker. Who would the decision maker be in the final analysis?
The ultimate decision maker is, at the end of the road, it's the person who's going to own the intellectual property. And the university right now is the person who retains the intellectual property. However, it is Dr. Antonio and Dr. Radhakrishnan's company. So as far as the implementation of any of those recommendations, that's completely up to them. It basically comes down to trying to get the most out of the situation for everybody. It's a loss if OU gets a lot and WirelessWhere doesn't get anything. It's for mutual gain.
I have a question. Who invented the original system? Was it not the faculty members?
Yes.
And did you explore the relationship that the faculty had with the university as far as IT is concerned?
And
The faculty member owns a percentage of their mind, the university owns a percentage of their mind. So the intellectual property is not solely owned by the university.
There we go.
It is?
And they understand fully the monetary agreement with it.
Yes, it is.
All right.
You don't like that, do you?
I think it is fair to say at this point that everyone involved is comfortable with the situation, and we've reached a mutual decision that everyone is happy with.
On-spot legal agreements have been put in place.
Yeah, the lawyer finally speaks up.
But it is something you might just mention that is covered in the boot camp in the CCEW class about what the intellectual property policy of the university
And Neil has a
is.
wonderful talk on that.
That was your plug, didn't it?
Anybody else?
Would you invest in this company?
Well, it ultimately depends on whether or not the founders are interested. It depends on what their interests are. If they're interested in, my guess would be that their interests probably lie in some sort of strategic alliance or partnership, or some sort of license where there wouldn't really be an investment opportunity. If it were offered for sale, I think that given some of the marketing and financial information that we looked at, that without the existing, there's a lot of competition, and there's a lot of pitfalls out there in terms of other areas. It's certainly, obviously, a very promising technology if we're able to get other companies involved in it. So that's, and basically the answer to that question is our change in process over the whole semester. And we initially thought that we were going to run it as a company and try and seek outside investment. And after analysis several times over, we came to the decision that trying to take advantage of someone else's resources is going to be the better way to go about it.
And on that same note, WirelessWhere has a superior technology, and really, if they can license it, they have a very visually appealing program to any user who's going to use it.
So it's worthwhile continuing to look for these partners.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes.
First off, great job.
Thanks.
How you have more police department and who else, Norman?
Norman.
Yes.
How important is it if you go into negotiations for strategic partnerships or licenses, etc., to get other marquee players to use the technology to prove the principle? If I saw Washington D.C. or New York City or Las Vegas, maybe not Reno, that'd be bad. But if I saw some of the other people, maybe it would be even more appealing, because Norman and obviously more fit on the smaller side. Is that a consideration for a leverage point if you are?
I have my own thoughts. I don't know what one of these two.
I definitely think it is, and that's something we had talked about earlier, is the more people that we can get using the product, it's obviously the better. The problem being is now that it's run by a few faculty, they don't necessarily have all the time to go out and do all the sales and marketing that needs to be done to gain customers. So there's definitely been inquiries by other police departments around the state and even in I think Texas that I think are interested, but it's just the infrastructure is there, but the opportunity is undoubtedly there to do that.
And at the same time, you mentioned quite a few big cities, and really WirelessWhere we think would be best fit in the under 10,000 population. So
You did say that. So, okay, thank you.
if we can get like Chickasha or Yukon or something like that to
Sure.
pick it up, then it's just one more person to encourage our technology.
I have one more question here. So if the university owns this, technology, and you indicate that the primary reason why it's not succeeding is that there's no one out there marketing it to the principal people that would find it most useful. So what's missing here? What's missing here? Is the owner of the technology not marketing it correctly?
The owner, the university has an exclusive license to WirelessWhere for the technology. So ultimately, any sort of deal making as far as alliances and partnerships will require university approval. However, their day-to-day operations as far as if they want to try and invest, bring additional capital on or anything like that, OU is only going to want to help try and make sure that that kind of thing happens because it gives them something else to point to as success from the office and from this program. But anything else, as far as raising money or sales and marketing efforts, that's completely up to them.
That's what it sounds.
Yes.
Very good. Nice to see you actually.
Very good, guys. Thank you. Okay. I'm particularly proud of that team because I think it took a lot of courage for them to come in with some initial perspectives that I think everybody thought was the right answer, to really do their own analysis, to dig into the data, look at it, say, you know what, maybe there's a different twist here, and to have the courage not to escalate their commitment throughout the course of the semester to get to the answer everybody wanted, but to really say this is what the right thing is for the business. And that takes a tremendous amount of courage at such a young